They say the greatest pain in life isn't death. It's betrayal. Betrayal cuts deeper than any knife, sharper than any blade, and when it comes from the one you trust the most, it can shatter your soul into pieces you will never put back together. This is the story of Rachel. A woman who thought she had it all, a loving husband, a beautiful marriage, and a home filled with dreams. But little did she know, her husband Daniel was living a secret life, one that would destroy everything she believed in. And when Rachel discovered the truth, her world didn't just collapse. She made sure his did too. Because sometimes, love doesn't end in heartbreak. Sometimes, it ends in blood. Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss more emotional, powerful stories like this. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more people who love deep storytelling. Rachel had always believed in the sanctity of marriage. She believed that when two people stood before God and made vows, those vows meant something. That they were sacred. That they were forever. She and Daniel had been together for 6 years. 6 years of smiles, of shared meals, of whispered dreams late into the night. Their wedding photos still hung on the wall, smiling faces frozen in time, reminders of promises spoken with trembling lips and hopeful hearts. But beneath the warmth of those smiles, a storm had always been waiting. It started like any other evening. Rachel was cleaning their bedroom when she noticed something unusual. The bottom drawer of Daniel's desk was slightly open, a drawer he always kept locked. Curiosity pricked at her chest. With trembling hands, she slid it open just a little further. Inside, tucked beneath a pile of old receipts and papers, she found a folder. A plain, unassuming folder that held the weight of destruction inside it. She opened it, and her heart dropped. Inside were documents she didn't recognize. Receipts for hotels she had never been to. Flight tickets under Daniel's name but with another woman listed as a companion. And then, the one paper that made her knees buckle beneath her, a marriage certificate. Daniel's name. And beside it, another woman's. Maya. Her husband, her Daniel, was married to someone else. Rachel's breath came in short, sharp gasps. She could feel her pulse pounding in her ears as she stared at the paper. The room felt colder, the air heavier. Her hands shook so violently she almost dropped the folder. What is this?" she whispered to herself, tears welling in her eyes. In that single moment, everything she thought she knew about her life crumbled. The laughter. The intimacy. The vows. The love. Was it all a lie? Rachel fell to the floor, clutching the papers to her chest, sobbing uncontrollably. She wasn't enough. She had never been enough. But Rachel didn't know that her pain was only just beginning. Because the betrayal of a husband is one thing. But when two betrayed women come together, united in anger and heartbreak, the story doesn't end in tears. It ends in revenge. Rachel sat on the cold wooden floor of her bedroom, clutching those papers as if they were a venomous snake that had just bitten her. The room around her blurred as tears poured from her eyes. Her mind screamed questions. Why wasn't I enough? How long has he been lying to me? Was any of it real? The woman she thought she was, the wife, the partner, the soulmate, suddenly felt like a stranger in her own body. Every smile Daniel had given her now looked different in her memories. Every kiss felt like poison in retrospect. She could no longer tell where the truth ended and where the lies began. Rachel cried until her body was too weak to produce more tears. Her chest ached, her voice cracked, her soul felt hollow. But betrayal has a way of planting seeds. And in the ashes of her heartbreak, something darker began to grow. The next morning, Rachel woke with puffy eyes and a pounding headache. She couldn't eat. She couldn't breathe properly. But she couldn't stop looking at that name written on the marriage certificate. Maya. Who was she? Was she just another affair? Another victim? Or was she something more? Rachel needed answers. And she would get them. Days later, she tracked Maya down. It wasn't easy. Daniel had hidden her well. But one phone call after another, one social media profile leading to the next, and finally, Rachel found her. A small cafe in the city. Maya worked there as a manager. Rachel stood outside that cafe, her hands trembling, her stomach twisting into knots. She almost turned away. Almost ran back home to hide in the illusion of ignorance. But no, she needed to know. She pushed the door open. The bell chimed above her head. And then she saw her. Maya. She was younger than Rachel expected. Beautiful, but with the kind of beauty that seemed tired, worn down by life. Her eyes carried a heaviness Rachel recognized, because she carried it too. Are you Maya? Rachel asked softly. Maya looked up, confused. Yes, do I know you? Rachel's throat tightened, but she forced the words out. I'm Rachel. Daniel's wife. The coffee cup in Maya's hand slipped and shattered against the floor. The sound echoed through the cafe, and for a moment, silence swallowed the room. Maya's face went pale. Her lips trembled. And then, almost in a whisper, she said, "He told me you didn't exist anymore." Rachel's knees nearly buckled at the words. The pain was mutual. She saw it in Maya's eyes, the devastation, the disbelief. In that moment, Rachel realized something horrifying. Maya wasn't her enemy. Maya was her reflection. The two women sat together for hours, their voices breaking, their tears mixing with the bitter coffee. They shared stories of the same man who had lied to both of them. He had promised Rachel forever. He had promised Maya eternity. But in the end, he gave them both nothing but ashes. Two women, broken by the same man. And in that moment, something unspoken passed between them. It wasn't friendship. It wasn't forgiveness. It was a shared fire. The fire of betrayal. The fire of rage. And from that fire, a dangerous thought was born. For weeks, Rachel and Maya carried the weight of their secret alliance. By day, they lived their lives like shadows. But behind closed doors, they plotted. Rachel kept a journal of Daniel's lies. Dates. Places. The little stories he had told her that never added up. She shared them with Maya, who filled in the gaps with her own betrayals. And soon, the map of his deceit was clear. Daniel wasn't just a liar. He was a predator. And predators don't stop until they're stopped. The night came. Rachel cooked his favorite dinner. She wore the dress he once called his weakness. And when Daniel came home, he smiled like nothing had ever happened. Sit. Eat. We need to talk, Rachel said. Daniel obeyed, but when she slid the folder across the table, his lies came quickly. Desperate. But then, another voice cut through the room. She meant nothing. Really. Daniel froze. And there she was. Maya. For the first time, Rachel saw fear in his eyes. And she liked it. The confrontation erupted like fire. Accusations, heartbreak, screams. Daniel begged. He lied. He tried to twist their pain into pity. But this wasn't about pity anymore. Rachel pulled the knife. Daniel begged for mercy. But Rachel's voice was ice. Love? If this is love, then you've killed me already. Maya's trembling hand held the blade. And together, without a word, they ended him. His cries filled the room, but they weren't cries of innocence. They were the cries of justice catching up to him. And when it was done, silence returned. Daniel lay lifeless. And for the first time, both women felt peace. But peace comes with a price. The days after were filled with paranoia. Every knock at the door was death knocking back. Every question from a neighbor was a trap. Rachel couldn't sleep. Maya couldn't focus. But they had each other. And together, they carried the burden. The world believed Daniel had disappeared. A tragedy. A mystery. But Rachel and Maya knew better. He wasn't lost. He was erased. One evening, Rachel whispered into the candlelight, "Some betrayals deserve forgiveness. But yours, Daniel, deserved blood." And with that, she closed her eyes. Not peacefully, but powerfully. Because justice was finally hers. If this story shook you, made you feel, or kept you on the edge of your seat, then do me a favor right now, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who loves deep emotional stories. Your support means everything, and it helps this channel grow so I can keep bringing you more powerful storytelling every single week.